The days felt like years as I waited for that fall date. I had hoped it would come sooner, but no, there was no way. The journey had been long and I needed it to end, but I also knew that it may be the dawn of a brand new day. As I waited, I pondered on how it was all unreal. My family doctor was convinced that it was not a big deal. If I hadn't pushed, if I hadn't insisted, by now it would have been a very different story. The day finally arrived. The oncologist was kind. He applauded my due diligence and sent me off for tests. The results were no surprise. There was no need to cry. It was cancer. But there was hope that I would survive. There were surgeries, there was chemo, all sorts of tests and meds. Some days were okay, some days tore me to shreds. It was that famous valley, the valley of death's shadow. But the Lord was my hope, my help, my rock, and I never let go. All the treatments soon ended. It was time to recover. Would I fully heal, or would it be a new normal? I continued eating right. I worked out. I thought, yes, I can do this. A year after my last treatment, I ran 5K races twice, went paddle boarding and zip lining. My doctors were amazed. They thought that I was crazy. But I felt so much fitter than before the diagnosis. Who would have thought that I would have anything left to give? Yet, my cup is filled with love that will outlast and outlive. So there it is, 2 long years of suspense, pain and uncertainty, all summed up in a 6-verse poem. My name is Ifweko, and I used to be a caterpillar. Before my diagnosis, life was as sweet as a sugar plum, and I savored every bite. That's pretty much all a caterpillar does. Then cancer came and cocooned me. And I transformed into a butterfly, fearless, free, and soaring to heights that I never even dreamt of, even touching the sky. Today, I will share with you 4 of the many things that I learned in that cocoon, which you may find beneficial if you have a health or life crisis, or if you just wish to take your health or your life to the next level. The first thing I learned in the cocoon was be healthy all the time. You shouldn't wait until you have a health crisis before you start taking your health seriously. Practice preventative health care always. 2 years before my diagnosis, I had taken up healthy habits of exercising regularly and eating right. Of course, I was very disappointed when I got diagnosed. My doctor, however, reassured me that because I was in such great shape before diagnosis, I stood a much better chance of tolerating the treatment and recovering well. This, I believe, was instrumental to my successful recovery and transformation within the cocoon. Did you know that according to the WHO, at least 80% of heart disease, stroke and diabetes, and 40% of all cancers are preventable through lifestyle choices? Those are mind-boggling stats. Being healthy at the time of chronic disease diagnosis significantly improves your chances of successful recovery. So, pursue integrative health practices, which include the following 7 lifestyle components in addition to professional health care. Number 1, nutrition. Number 2, movement and exercise. Number 3, rest and sleep. Number 4, relationships and communication. Number 5, physical environment. Number 6, mind-body connection. And number 7, personal and professional development. Incorporating the foundational practices of mindfulness and spirituality will enable you to reach your ultimate goal of optimal health and wellness. So, lesson 1, always practice integrative health and wellness. The second thing I learned in the cocoon was, be an explorer. Become curious about everything. Now, they say that curiosity killed the cat. Is there any saying that curiosity ever killed a woman? I didn't think so. So, be curious. Discover new and accurate information. Become a researcher without a PhD in view. Know the stats. Know the risks. Know the symptoms. Know when to get professional care. And know when to seek opinion from family and trusted friends. I consulted Dr. Google extensively when I felt that my family doctor was misdiagnosing me. I made sure to check credible information sources until I became more knowledgeable than she was on this matter. And yes, she rolled her eyes when I told her I had visited Dr. Google. Do you think that fazed me? You guessed right, it didn't. I had to do what I had to do. So, lesson 2, explore, seek to know, and never ever be afraid to ask lots and lots of questions. The third thing I learned in the cocoon was be audacious. When you are faced with a health or life crisis, pause, be still, and calm down. With calmness, you can rationally identify and examine all the possible outcomes of your health or life situation and come to terms with each one of them. When you are at peace with all the possible outcomes, because of your trust in God, fear becomes afraid of you and takes flight like a flash of light. I came to terms with my diagnosis ending in death. I came to terms with my diagnosis ending in good health. This did not mean that I didn't have faith. If anything, it revealed the depth of my faith in God, and it made me more fearless. For me, faith is trusting that a God whom I have never seen has my best interest at heart and will see me through all trials, as they must surely come. Being fearless, things became crystal clear, and I was able to make better decisions for my health. When we were not satisfied with my family doctor's diagnosis, and by we I am referring to my husband and I, as my husband was my pillar throughout my treatment. We did our research, and then we insisted, and then we got a second opinion, and then we pushed through the system until we got that oncologist appointment, which then sped up the process. I advocated for myself, became my own champion, and early detection saved my life. Similarly, during my recovery, my rehabilitation doctor, with all good intention, wanted me to go slower with my exercise based on her experience with other patient recoveries. However, my fatigue and crashing episodes did not seem to be going away. Again, I advocated for myself, and I went along with a more aggressive exercise that I found was working better for me. Beyond my doctor's wildest imagination, my recovery was significantly fast-tracked, with the added benefit of me losing 20 pounds in just 4 months. You know yourself better than anyone else ever could. Armed with fearlessness, determine what is best for your health and your life and advocate for yourself. So, first lesson, always be healthy. Second lesson, be an explorer. Third lesson, be fearless, advocate for yourself, and be audacious. The fourth thing I learned in the cocoon was, be legit. Be aware that being genuine, being authentically you, showing the human side of you, removing your mask or your game face, being legit with everyday people will make you vulnerable. Nobody likes to be vulnerable. But there are perks. Being vulnerable helps you connect easily and more genuinely with people, and your relationships become fuller, deeper, and richer. I know this because I experienced it. The more I shared my story, the more vulnerable I felt. The more vulnerable I felt, the less fearful I was. The less fearful I was, the more audacious I became. In just a short time, the vulnerability disappeared and all barriers melted away like a passing smoke. When you're legit, you become privy to more information and opportunities from all sorts of people and all sorts of places. Becoming legit strengthened me and helped me to break out of the cocoon, see the world differently, and show up deliberately. So, lesson 4. Living a legit life aligns you with the life you were designed to live. In my former life as a caterpillar, I was an engineer and then a marketing professional. Life was good, and I was just inches away from the senior management role on my career ladder. Then cancer came and cocooned me. In that cocoon, I was transformed into and became a butterfly, and then emerged a flying gem, dancing to the rhythm of a carefree life. With the lemons that life gave me, I chose to make lemon macarons with coconut buttercream, just because those sound and taste so much better than lemonade. I have evolved from the narrow-minded way I took care of my health to more efficient integrative health and wellness practices. In this season of my life, I have also become a health coach, and I am zealous to help women thrive and achieve the health of their dreams. I am extremely excited, and I intend to live this season to the fullest. Today, you may feel that you're a caterpillar, just like I did. This season of your life may be boring, or you may be having the time of your life thinking, surely it can't get any better. I want to let you know that there is always something more. Be mindful of life so that you can see the opportunities to be more and to do more. Remember the 4 things I have shared with you today that could potentially transform your health or your life. These 4 things spell out an acronym: HEAL, heal. H, be healthy. E, be an explorer. A, be audacious. And L, be legit. The whole world is waiting for you to flutter your beautiful wings as you emerge from your cocoon into a world without limits as you reach high and touch the boundless sky. God wastes absolutely nothing, including our sad stories. A health crisis or a life crisis is not the end of your story. It may be the unlikely tool that God will use to move you into the next exciting chapter of your life. Be thankful for your cocoon as you remember that your life is more than good health and life's blessings. These are just the means to an end. It's time to stop chasing shadows. Stop seeking out the crumbs under the table when the feast God has prepared for you is on the table. Blessed are you who pursue the things that will make an eternal difference. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, and the mind of man has not conceived the things that God has prepared for those who love him. I am a work in progress, constantly evolving, and I hope you are too. Thank you.